Hi everybody, how are you? This is Danny. Thank you. Welcome back to my channel. Today is June 14th, 2020, and as of today, the day of recording, I will be 13 weeks and 5 days pregnant. When this is uploaded, I'll probably be around the 14 and a half week mark. But as of right now, June 14th, 2020, I am 13 weeks and 5 days pregnant. I am so excited to finally announce that here on YouTube. I'm still trying to put everything together. It's still kind of surreal for me. I was able to put the announcement out. I released the announcement on my Facebook and Instagrams yesterday. I wanted to make sure that I got to the scan, like to my 12-week mark, and just make sure everything was okay, and was finally able to breathe. And felt good about, I had to tell certain people first before I was able to announce it, or before I felt comfortable announcing it. And now I'm here and it's all out there, and I can be free with it. I can be free and be excited about it. I will be venturing this as a single mom, and I'll get into that story later. But there is an involvement with the other half of the equation, but as of right now, our plan is singledom. I will be a single mom, and I'm looking forward to that. I have a lot of anxiety. I'm looking forward to that. But again, that's going to be a whole other vlog, okay, in regards to the pregnancy journey. But right now, I just wanted to announce that I am 13 weeks, more than 13 and a half weeks pregnant, and I'm due December 16th, 2020. Obviously 2020. Due December 16th, and it was actually funny because when we measured the dates for my last period, I was actually due December 19th. But on Monday, or last Monday when they did the scan, they marked me, like, the way the baby was measuring was actually 3 days earlier. So they're 3 days farther along. So, my new due date was December 16th, which means that the baby was developed around my birthday. That was interesting. It was like, happy birthday to me. So it was like in the week of my birthday. So that's kind of cool. Anyhow, so that's what I wanted to announce, and I'm very, very excited. So I'm going to go over some of the symptoms from week 4 to week 12. Now that the weeks have kind of been 3 days earlier, 3 days off, like the symptoms are gonna kind of meld into every week, and I didn't adjust them. Like, I didn't adjust the dates because, like, what the hell's the point? Like, 3 days is not a big deal. So, and pretty much the symptoms are just how they are. So I'm gonna be doing the symptoms from week 4 to week 12, and as much as I wrote down for week 12, because I think at that point I was kind of like, okay, what the hell's happening? Like, I only wrote down a few symptoms because I don't really have a lot of symptoms at 12 weeks. So, and that's, again, this is my experience. Every pregnancy is different. And with my history of miscarriage, I had a lot of anxiety, and I was trying to stay calm as much as I could. So these are my symptoms, and then I'm going to try and do a weekly, or at least every 2 week update at the max for spreading that out. So I'm going to go over my weekly symptoms, and then I'm recording this from my phone because I don't know where the hell my vlogging camera is. So I'm doing this from my phone. I'm looking at a Word document on my computer. I can't record from my computer because my speakers are blown, and I'm not spending money replacing a speaker when it'll probably be just as much as to replace the entire laptop. So I'm doing the best I can with the resources I have. So bear with me. Okay, so week 4. So according to this, is around between April 11th and 17th. Okay, so I had obviously sore boobs, I was bloated, fatigue, headaches, cramps, super sense of smell. There was no spotting. I had really weird dreams, and this is around the same type of symptoms that I would have for my period. So, like, leading up to this, and this was Easter weekend. So Easter Sunday is when I found out that I was pregnant, and I didn't have any, like, non-period symptoms. I didn't have any pregnancy symptoms. Everything, like, early period stuff is generally pregnancy stuff, right? Like, it's kind of very, very similar. And so on the Saturday, I was scheduled, like, according to my calendar, I was supposed to have my period on the Saturday, and it didn't come, but I was, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. Like I had a lot of stress going on at work, with everything with COVID and, my salary being reduced and things like that. There was a lot of things going on. So I was stressed out. I'm like, okay, well, it didn't come today, whatever. The next day, there was an inkling, and I, again, had no other symptoms. I had no other symptoms, but there was a last inkling that, when I went to the dollar store to grab some stuff for the turkey, like just like a turkey baster and stuff like that. And it's funny, it's just a turkey baster because I went to get a really like a cheapy pregnancy test, just for fun. I've taken a million of these. We'll just take it for fun. It's like a $1.25, whatever. So I took it. I bought one, but I only bought one because I'm like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. And so I bought one. I brought it home, emptied my bags, and then my roommate at the time, because I didn't want to freak out, my roommate at the time was going to the store. Okay, so if he's going to the store, then I'm just gonna take the test. Took it, and I freaked out because as soon as that line went across, it was just like double line. Like I was like, what? What is it? No. So call my best friend. I'm like, pick up the phone, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. Freaked out, and she's like, okay, calm it down, take a breath. And then I went to go get like 10 more tests. Like I spent like $60. I went to the store and got like $60 worth of tests, and peed all of them, or dipped them all, and boom, 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 positive, positive, positive. So something was not planned. I will go into the story later, of how this all happened. But so something wasn't planned, but it was a blaring positive. Like, this is, oh, you're pregnant, sister. And I don't know why I just talk like that, whatever. But it's like, you're pregnant, deal with it. Now what are you gonna do? It's like, I'm just kind of dealing with the fact that, like, I'm trying to still cope with the idea that I'm single, trying to figure my single Danny out, right? That wasn't happening. My time was now someone else's time. So, that was awesome. So that was week 4. And then also my last puff of a cigarette, my last drag for the whole day, was like one drag for the whole day was Friday, April 17th. I've not had a cigarette or anything like that since. And drinking pretty much was done that day, and like the day that I found out. And that was fine, like that seemed fine. And then week 5, so the symptoms, like, there's a little bit more now. So week 5, so I had extremely sore boobs, like first, like in the middle of the night, like first thing in the morning, like holy crap, my boobs were bigger. I had extreme fatigue at work from like 1 to 3, like that was like my window, like I was like gonna sleep on my keyboard, like that's how tired I was. Random headaches. I was very easily emotional. Hair was falling out more. I was losing a lot of it. I have dull aches and cramps. There was no desire for smoking, which is good. Extreme bloat, and pants were really feeling tight. A lot of constipation. You know what? I'm the kind of person with the TMI, okay, guys? So if you have a problem with that, if you don't like pregnancy videos, this is probably not the video to be watching, or any video to be watching. And then I got some random dark spotting, like a big smear in my liner, because I was getting some cramps that day, and I was like, I'm just gonna check. And of course, being a history of miscarriage, I was like, what the F is going on? It freaked me out because of my history, obviously. And I didn't feel the same at all back then, but I wanted to call my doctor anyway just to make sure. And then he said, okay, come in. Like, he's very aware of my history, so he said, come in. I brought the liner with me like a hypochondriac. Brought the liner with me. He saw it. He didn't describe it. He just looked at it, and there was a lot on there. And I showed it to my sister as well. Like, I sent her a picture of it. I know that sounds gross, but I sent her a picture of it. She's a nurse. So I sent her a picture, and she said, it looks like old blood. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't really know what that meant. So maybe it was implantation bleeding that just, like, let itself go. And then, so he told me, he's like, okay, I want to send you for an emergency ultrasound. Like, just to make sure everything's okay. And it was about 6 weeks, so, like, at the end of 5 weeks. This was at the very end of 5 weeks. It was, like, the Friday, and I was turning 6 weeks the next day. This is before the new schedule. The new schedule. So, according to me, the original schedule, I was supposed to be 6 weeks the next day. And that's what they measured it at. And so they were able to find a heartbeat, and everything was fine. So, oh my god, 109 beats a minute. I was very happy. and got the picture. I was able to relax, and that's how that went. Because there was no way I was sent home for the day. Like that's when my boss found out that I was pregnant, because I'm like, I need to go because this is happening. So that's when my work found out. Then week 6, I was weepy. Still had lots of headaches. I was unfocused. I was frustrated because could be that I don't have my dog at the time, and I don't like walking. Like I need to go out, but I don't like walking anywhere without Kara. So that's how I was feeling. I was feeling really weepy. I was still bloating. I was on and off for sore boobs, so it was kind of like, oh my god, is that normal? Extreme fatigue, I had some constipation, really vivid dreams, like really, really vivid dreams. My sex drive came and went, but when it came, it was like on, like Donkey Kong. And I was like, oh my god, I was like so like randy. Strong urges to register and enter for all the free samples. That's where I was at. And then like I saw baby stuff like everywhere. It was weird. Like I saw baby stuff everywhere. Week 7, first day of week 7, no boob soreness at all. I still had extreme fatigue. I had a lot of anxiety for the 8-week scan because it was coming up. And then had a lot of anxiety about anything that I need to be thinking of. And I know like people were talking about strollers and bassinets and food and formula and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. And it felt like the longest wait in history. It really did, because I wanted that scan, that 8-week scan. And also that was the scan, the last scan that I got before my miscarriage. So I was like, oh my god, this better be good. Please let this be good. And then week 8 comes along. Fatigue overload, like as soon as 11 a.m. Like 11 a.m. hit, like remember before it was 1 to 3, 11 a.m. hit and it, done. I was easily irritated. There was more engorgement in my boobs, my breasts. Can't sleep throughout the night. I was peeing a lot more often, like 2 to 2:30, 3:30 every morning. I was peeing, like full bladder pee. Like I didn't have to drink beforehand. I was peeing, and then I couldn't really sleep. I was up at 3:30 in the morning once, and I just kind of stayed up because I would spend an hour and a half trying to get back to bed, and then I have to work 9 hours, and I'm like, you gotta be joking! Like it's not happening. I was more congested, just because our seasons were changing, and I know that's a symptom of pregnancy, so I was more congested, I was more bloated, and I was really out of breath going up the stairs. And I work out every day, but I was out of breath going up the stairs. There's a lot of acne around my neck and my forehead. So I'm sure that was pregnancy acne. Like my skin's pretty clear generally, but it was like just starting to get like really bumpy. And then like I'm like, okay, I got some like whiteheads going on here. It was gross. And then I gained a few pounds. So I'm like, okay, well maybe that's good. That's a good thing. Because I wasn't like going crazy with the food. So I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. Growth is a good thing. Okay, week 9. I still had congestion, fatigue easily throughout the day, but it came in hard in the evening, like 7 or 8. I was like, oh. Bloating but less constipation, so things were moving. That's good. And I generally do have my superfood shake every single day, so and that generally helps. But constipation's a different thing, I guess, when you're pregnant. Breast tenderness was coming and going as per normal. Again, up at 3:30. My hair was growing really, really fast. My nails were growing fast. And I had a fair bit of round ligament pain. Like anytime I moved or adjusted, I was like, oh my fuck, like what the hell is that? It kind of felt like there was like a big cramp or something like that in my lower abdomen. I'm like, what the? Like I thought I felt like I ripped something. Ooh, like it was terrible. And then week 10, constipation, a lot of fatigue, and I was sleeping. I was starting to sleep in my Jeep, like at lunch, because I'm like, okay, I can't stay awake. I can't sleep. I can't. There's no on-call room at work, so I slept in my Jeep, windows open, and I put a timer on, and I was out. Like I was out for the count for about a half hour, 45 minutes. I slept in my Jeep. I had a little bit of anxiety and excitement because it's officially the longest pregnancy at this point that I've ever had. Last time I made it to 9 weeks, 6 days. So I rounded up to 10 weeks before my miscarriage. And I've no real symptoms at that point. I had a bit more acne around my chin and back and some of my boobs too. I still wasn't sleeping throughout the night. My bump started to pop though. I was excited about that. It was starting to pop. My gums were bleeding from brushing. It could just be it was a new toothbrush I was using, or just I was brushing harder, but I was getting some bleeding. And I still had constipation. Week 11, not a lot of changes from week 10. Really, not a lot of changes. It was pretty much the same. My bump got a little bit bigger. It was pretty much flat in the morning, and it's still the same way, it's flat in the morning, and then rounded at night. And then the Thursday of the week 11, my severe fatigue kind of stopped. But then, it could come back again. I think it came back again the next week, but I was like, it just kind of stopped. Like, I wasn't tired. And it's funny because I'm only like extreme tired, like during the week at work. It's never on the weekends. I think it's just because I'm able to sleep a little bit longer. I'm a little bit more relaxed. I can chill out and less anxiety when I'm at home. But my bump did pop. Still had some bleeding from the gums. A lot of excitement building for week 12 because I was getting there. I'm like, oh my god. And then the last 2 days of week 11, I had a lot of constipation. And then week 12, I was emotional, irritable, had a hard time sleeping, and still had congestion. So that's all I was able to write down because that's where I kind of got everything kind of thrown and adjusted. So in regards to the timeline, but for week 13, honestly, it's just congestion. Yeah, there is some fatigue, but I also have more energy. I do have more energy. Like, I know that officially the second trimester starts on Wednesday for like week 14 for me. But I feel good now. I feel more energized because the scan went good. And I was able to tell everyone I need to tell before I went public. And that includes my ex. I wanted to talk to my ex about it because I know that I would want the same thing. If like there was a big transition that happened in his life, I would rather know from him directly rather than finding out on social media or by someone else. And it's like we don't owe that to each other, but just out of respect, out of my respect for the relationship and for him and my love for him, my deep compassion for him, and respect for him, I wanted to make sure that he found out the situation from me because this was such a big deal about why we split up in the first place. And I didn't know how he was going to respond, but he responded. It was a beautiful experience. He held me, he congratulated me, he gave me all of his support, and it was just like I had my friend. And that's what I missed the most. I missed my friend, and to have his love and support was just everything to me. And I couldn't have asked for better. So when I got his support, I didn't need his permission, but when I got his support, it felt like it was more real now that I could be happy about it. I could be, because I didn't want to talk to him. I'm like, oh my god, I had like holding this in for like 9 weeks, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna tell him. How am I gonna tell him? So I did, and it was beautiful, and I'm very thankful that everything went well, and I couldn't be more appreciative and loving towards him. I really couldn't. Like he's a very big man, and respectful, and I'm very, very proud of him, and proud of our relationship, and I'm just it makes it so much easier. Makes it so much easier, and yeah. So week 13, it was just. I do have fatigue. I do have to get up in the middle of the night still. I'm able to get back to sleep. I am hungry. I have had cravings. I didn't talk about this before. I did have cravings primarily for protein. I don't have any food aversions, or any more than I did before. I don't have any food aversions, but I've noticed that I put together. Yes, banana peanut butter always tastes good together, always. But I've noticed my first official, real, noticeable, because when I knew I was pregnant, craving was toast with peanut butter, like Kraft peanut butter, smooth peanut butter, with strawberries and peanut butter on top. Boom. That's so good. Yeah, that was my thing. So I had like so many of those, and then I started putting blueberries and stuff like that on top of it. It was just awesome. And then I also liked zucchini and peanut butter. That might be a little bit weird, but protein. Like, I really love meat. Well, I've always loved meat, but like just meat. I just want meat, and I also do crave vegetables. So I don't know if there's any specific other than the strawberries and bread, like the strawberries and peanut butter. I don't know if there's anything else specifically for cravings at this point, but I love food. There's no food aversion. I'm not getting sick. I haven't had any morning sickness ever. The only time I felt sick was, or the only time I feel sick is when I don't eat first thing in the morning. So after I still do my workouts first thing in the morning, like that's never stopped. I still have my Energize, I still have my Shakeology, I still have my water. Like, I have this during the day, but I drink a lot of water during the day. And then it takes me a little, like I feel a little bit nauseous if I'm not eating. Like if I don't eat right away. So I make sure I have my breakfast by the time I get to work. So about 8:30, quarter to 9, I'm like eating my breakfast, which is usually eggs and spinach. And then I'll have like steel cut oats or something like that, or a granola. for my carbs. So I'll have that. So I'll have my protein, I'll have my blue container, which is my healthy fats with my cheese in it, and then I'll have spinach or asparagus, some sort of green, or zucchini, some sort of green to go along with that, and then I'll have my carbs. So that's me, and then I'll have a side of fruit later. But as long as I'm eating small meals a day, as I eat normally, I don't change my diet. I'm still eating like I normally would. I'm maybe adding 300 to 400 calories a day, maybe, and then that's it. And then I just keep up my workout routine. So that's been it for me. So in regards to week 13, things are going great. I'm just excited. I'm getting out more. I'm starting to think more about what's going to happen and what I need. And now that I feel more free to be able to plan, that's what I'm excited about. And yeah, I have been a little bit more emotional. I do cry at those things, but I think that's just normal. So anyway, so that is it for the announcement and week to week update. I'll be inserting some the transitional pictures as I go. I didn't really do a lot of videos, but because I'm new and I didn't want to get, I didn't want to disappoint myself. So I'll do the transition photos at the end of this video. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I am so excited to share this journey with you. And until next time, just have a wonderful, wonderful week. Be safe, be strong. Bye. Oh, I almost forgot. Bump shot. Bump shot. Yeah, so I bought a bunch of these long tank tops at Walmart. These are good, but this is 13 weeks. I'm not pushing out. If I was pushing out, it would be like that. This is relaxed 13 weeks. If I try and suck it in, I can try to do that, but it's just uncomfortable. So that is the bump shot, 13 and a half weeks. So from the front, I guess you can see it kind of glows right there, but yeah. So that is 13 weeks. 13 and a half weeks. So I can't imagine what it's going to look like. My sister was big, so I don't know how this is going to look, but hey, what you going to do? But yeah, that is the bump. I'm excited to just have this expand. I'm super, super excited. And I'm actually at that point where I can do that. All right. Thanks, guys. You have a beautiful day, and thanks for watching. Take care.